All right. I have 7:30 p.m. Central Time, which is right on the mark. So I'm not going to waste any time because I know that the camera's up here. I know that you are very busy like myself. You have a lot of things going on. So I don't want to waste any of your time. I want to jump right into this presentation and get started so I can tackle some of those common questions that come up. People ask me all the time, what do you do as a beach body coach? Or I see you posting pictures on Facebook. What do you really do? And they don't really seem to know a lot of times. So we're going to share out my presentation here, and we're going to get started. And that's the first slide. Pretty exciting stuff. No, this is just the general slide opening. We have some pictures here from different events, and we're going to jump into this. This is me there in the white with the funny glasses on at one of the white parties last year. Like I said, my name is Greg Barth. I'm a Star Diamond Beachbody coach, which may not mean anything to you if you're not familiar with the business, but that's just a advancement in completing successful goals along the way, helping a lot of people, and creating this team of other coaches and customers to reach out and help as many people as possible. I'm a recently divorced dad. I have two daughters. I'm an IT geek. I created the blog and YouTube channel Get Fit with Greg to reach out to as many people as possible so I can help them do the same thing that I did. Up on the top there, that is me after P90X 3 rounds on the right, and then Cozumel down below, one of the trips I attended, and a recent photo shoot I did out in LA when I had a chance to audition out there to be in some of the videos. And the summit is the upper right, where there was 5,000 people outdoors working out. And then me on the right, trying to look all pretty, I guess, which I can get sweaty, but clean up as well. P90X is my program of choice. That's where I started. I started off as a 38-year-old guy back in 2009, October 5th to be really on the mark. I was lethargic. I wasn't necessarily overweight, but I just didn't feel the zest of life. I There was something missing, and I wasn't really sure what that was. So long story short is I dove in, and it was one of the first times in my life that I always, when I look back at it, I see myself as being more average. Never really wanted to push the envelope, just accepting for that's fine. I don't really need more than that. But with P90X, it was every day or 6 days a week, 90 days, and I was all in. The switch went off in my head, and I wanted more. So I dove in and I did it, and I kept doing it. I did 3 months. After 3 weeks, I already noticed. I think I already lost several pounds, and I didn't even try to lose weight. That was not my goal. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. That was 9 months there. Even after 3 months, I lost a lot of hair, but I was making a lot of progress very quickly. By the 6th month or even earlier, people were starting to ask me a lot of questions. What are you doing? You look so much different. You have a lot more energy. What is it that you're doing? So I naturally progressed into coaching and helping them do the exact same thing. So in a nutshell, that's exactly what it is. Is there will be more details coming in this presentation, but how do you help more people is really, I wanted to show them how to do it because I figured it out along the way. How do you stay motivated? How do you get up in the morning? How do you do this? What do you eat? A lot of questions that come up. But that's my story. And then I created Team Dynamo with my sister Rhonda. That is just basically a team of other coaches that we all work together very closely to help as many people as possible. This is Dave Ward, who lives out in San Diego, and he is a retired lawyer. Lawyer business runs in his family. His dad was a lawyer. His dad's dad was a lawyer. That's all he knew. He is an overachiever. You work hard, you do more, you outwork the next guy, is his philosophy. He was pounding the pavement, working a lot of hours as a lawyer, thinking he liked it because that's how he always had it in his head is designed that he was going to become this powerful lawyer. But at some point along the little journey is he started to understand, and one piece that really triggered it for him was at a seminar, a personal development seminar. that he was not really being true to himself. He wasn't doing what made him happy. He was really miserable. He'd go to happy hour, he called it miserable hour because everyone would go and complain about their problems and how much they hated their job. And he sat back and wondered, why am I doing this? I'm not even really giving my family attention. And Monica, his wife on the right hand side, she used to be a kindergarten teacher, and she started this fitness business, Beachbody Coaching, and she tried to get Dave involved. And he was the typical, I'm a lawyer. What? Why would I want to do that? That's what is that? Avon sales? I don't want to do that. That's not for me. So he was really resistant. And then as he went through personal development, understood really who he was and what he wanted out of life. He currently is a full-time Beachbody coach, making a lot of money, and he's surfing, he's skiing, he travels a lot, and he pours himself into helping others in training and to for them to become the best Beachbody coaches that they can and to help as many people as possible. And now he has the time freedom to spend as much time and set his schedule around his family. It's a pretty cool thing. This is Rhonda, my sister that I mentioned earlier. Her and I really started this together. She's always been the fitness person in our family, and I was not. I was always active, but I was more of the business person. So I was the first one to start in this journey, and I invited her along. And I one day I said, Rhonda, I think you should do this crazy thing called insanity. And she didn't really know what it was, and she admits that she had some pride involved, that she was a runner. I'm a runner. I know how to exercise. Why would I want to do that? Some home video program? I don't think so. So it took a few times of talking to her about it, and then she finally said, "Yeah, I'm just going to try this." And she dove all the way in, and she was even she there was a story on the local news that they did on her on the whole process. They they journeyed all that, but her journey was really, she was blown away. Within 60 days with Sean T, she was getting in way better shape than she ever thought she could be, and she considered herself in great shape at the time as a runner. But it was just mind blowing to her, and she started to see the possibility over the course of time in this coaching process that she can spend more time with her family. And one of her big whys, as we call it in many parts of our lives, is having a strong why of why you want to do something makes you do it no matter what. And she wants to spend time walking her son to school, picking her son up, spending time with her family, and having her time. As you'll see, the common theme here is time. Having some of her own time. She was miserable in her job, and now she's living quite a different lifestyle just by making those tough choices at the very beginning and putting the work into it and helping as many people and just pouring herself into them. And then there's Jackson. It's my nephew there. He's the photobomber. Chris Reed is the guy in the suit there. We'll just leave it at that. That was on the cruise last year at Disco Night. So he went all out and he had a good time with that. He poured himself into the character the whole time. He's a former SWAT officer. And what I like about Chris the most is that he's a straight shooter, not literally with the gun there, but he tells you like it is and what you sometimes don't want to hear, but it helps make you better. He's this has the softest heart. He wants to help everyone as much as possible, and that is the house they were able to purchase with this whole Beachbody thing. He's funny because his story is he's so technically challenged. So he's like, if I can do this, you can do this. And he's taken his family on a 43-day vacation when he retired and became a full-time Beachbody coach. They traveled around and went to all the state parks. And he's just an all-around normal guy that is very successful just because he chose to make some changes in his life. Then there's Leanne, who is out in San Francisco, and she moved across country, her whole family, mom of four, several years, or not that long ago, about 5 years ago, and or maybe even less. She was never really a runner, and she got into running as this whole process. I'm highlighting it, but she's in just a few short years, she's really uncovered who she really is as a person. She lost, I think it's close to 100 pounds, if not more, at one point, and she lost herself in there. And recently, she came out more with admitting to some eating disorder issues and all of this because of embracing one decision to say, yes, I want to get myself into shape with the programs. Yes, I want to start helping other people. Yes, I want to take this seriously. And she's continued on one step and another step. And she's had a couple of different huge revelations of self discovery along the way and who she is. And none of that really has anything to do with necessarily coaching, but yet it has everything to do with it as well. And then there's Mike in the upper right hand corner, and that's her husband. He went from the upper left there to pretty soft to shredding a lot of the fat, a lot of muscle, and then he put on tons of muscle with the Body Beast, which is the heavy lifting weight or weightlifting program. Then she is in Disney. She's went on a lot of different vacations, all because of the extra money that she's making with Beachbody. Team Dynamo, like I mentioned, the Mo is from momentum, from the compound effect. There's a whole chapter on momentum, how you get the water churning and it just starts to flow and all kinds of great things start to accumulate and compound. But we exist here to help each other. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll let you glance at that. But we're really a very close knit community, close knit family. We represent all over the U.S. and Canada, and I've become great friends with the team, and it just continues to grow. It's really something to be proud of that I was able to help start that. Beachbody started back in '98. John Congdon and Carl Deichler, and then there was a few different programs. Tony Horton, the trainer of P90X, and his very, very, very short shorts with Power 90, and then it progressed along different programs. P90X has been out since 2003, which seems crazy, crazy. But 2007 was the big year. That's when the actual coach network was launched, 2007, where you were able to become a coach and generate income by helping others, and which we're talking about right now. And then Insanity with Sean T on the left there, that was a huge launch, and Turbo Fire and all the other programs. But Shakeology in 2009, that was probably, I would say, if I had to guess, or that was one of the largest products because the whole business is based on it. It's a continuation product. It's super duper healthy and it's easy. I'll mention more on that later. But and as we move forward through the slide a little bit, coming into 2015, there's some things that are not even on here. That's how fast we're growing. Max 30 from Insanity Max 30 from Sean T was just recently released in December, and I went through that program, and it's insane, of course, and I loved it. High end cardio, no weights, and you don't even need a lot of space. And then recently, just several weeks ago, the 21-day fix extreme from Autumn Calabrese, who is listed there right underneath the 2014 sign. The extreme piece was just launched, and I'm doing that. It's just 3 weeks, portion control, including Shakeology, and using lighter weights throughout the program, and really to rip your muscles into the best shape possible. So I've pretty much done all these programs, which is kind of crazy, except for Brazil butt lift. But the ab workout is very difficult. I challenge you to do that. The whole program, but it's not necessarily my program. Just a little brief highlight of the growth. It's just insane where we're growing. We're 500 million is really an old number. I don't even know where we're at now. If I'm not mistaken, I think we hit $1 billion in revenue. So that's basically you can see the trend. You can't hide the growth here. 225,000. I think we're close to 240 now, and it just continues to grow. And there's other growth in other countries that will be coming available. Right now we're at the US and Canada, but we'll be going into other countries as well. But we're not growing. We don't want to expand too fast because we want to make sure we have it solid here and we continue from there. Like I mentioned, Shakeology. I've been drinking Shakeology since 2010. My favorite is the vegan chocolate Shakeology. I usually have it for breakfast. Sometimes I'll have it for lunch instead. But it's the biggest things that it's helped me with, and there's no chemicals or any of that because there's a lot of other products. Sometimes we'll try to put a lot of chemical products in there and just loaded with fillers, and this is not one of them. It's one of the best products on the market, but it curbs my appetite and it also makes me fuller, and I don't really ever get sick, knock on wood. And if I do, it's really to a less degree. And I know that for a fact. It's all because of this helps me become healthier as a person. That's my goofy picture on the left. Some examples of people, whoa, that are getting themselves into shape with all the different programs. I don't know why it's cruising like that. We'll move on to the next slide. Oh, stop. There we go. I think it's, no, it's got a mind of its own. We're going to talk about this here. Whoa, what happened here? Stop. There we go. Sorry about that. I think I have it stopped. I must have hit a automatic button. But these are all members from our team alone. What is it doing? Sorry about this. And technical difficulties always come into play. Give me 1 second here and see if I hit the play button or something. I'm going to stop and reshare. Let's do that. Let's do that. Get a chance to go live with Mr. Barth here. We're again. And we'll continue on with some of those testimonials and walk through that, because that's one of my favorite parts, really, is how much has changed for other people on our team. This is the one here. There's two different Julie's statements. Oh, it's still doing that, but dream big, step outside your comfort zone and punch fear in the face. Okay, I'm not sure why it's doing that. Peer support. Previous menu, next. Basically, I'm going to go back to this here, and if it continues on, I'll just move from there. But these are all testimonials from our team alone. As you can see, Justin on the upper right here, he lost 200 pounds. Lost 200 pounds. That's insane. He got his life back. Personal growth, that's the big theme of what we've all really, a lot of us have really become a lot of different as a person, and we can't help others if we're not really helping ourselves. Mary Lynn or Mary Ann, everything. Dream big, step outside your comfort zone, and punch fear in the face. That's exactly how I created a whole podcast show on that whole theme. This was a picture from Summit last year, and we're pretty much double that this year as we go down to Nashville. Then we have a lot of team training, like I mentioned. Or actually, I probably haven't mentioned that yet. It's coming up. That's another Summit event up in the left there. And then the big workout in the right there, where it's about 5,000 people at the Summit National Convention for Beachbody coaches, where we all gather and learn about all kinds of new things. That was in Las Vegas last year. But on the lower right, we do a lot of training sessions, and it's all via video. And it's another way of getting to know our teammates that much more. You probably have some questions, which is why you came to this webinar. And what does a coach have to be? Is this for you? There's a lot of common questions on, do I have to be a fitness expert? Do I have to be very knowledgeable with social media, or how do I meet people? I'm not a salesperson. All those things, you do not have to be a salesperson. You just have to be yourself. And you don't have to be in perfect condition. You shouldn't, because people can't relate to you that way. You have to be on a journey of improvement is the biggest piece. That's where the right-hand side there, you have to be a relatable person. You have to be always improving. You want to have more out of your life, basically. You want to be a better person, and you want to help others achieve the same thing. That is the biggest piece. If you want more time with your family, if you want more money for coming in for the family, those are the biggest pieces. And if you want it enough, then you can make it happen. How you connect as a coach. Social media, that's really where it's at. Everything, if you're not on Facebook, I don't know where you're at, but Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube as well. I do a lot of YouTube videos, and I just try to provide a lot of valuable information that people are seeking. And then they get to know me through video, and they want to connect with me, and they want to start doing the same thing that I did. So you're really basically branding your story as a coach. How did you go from where you were to where you are now? And take people through that journey. I take people through where I was when I in 2009, and where that took me in 2010 and 11, and to where I'm at now. I'm doing some really crazy things. I'm writing blog articles for major websites, and I'm doing a lot of video, and I'm this podcast, all these things that I never would have done before, never, even just a few years ago, which leads me to believe there's some even crazier things ahead just for me. And I want my success and everything that I've been able to do to the whole team. And I want to show them how to do the same thing, and they can show others. And that just continues the process. So that's what you really are doing, is you're finding people through social media, and then you can connect with as many or that many more people. The other thing is local events and local communities. Online is very popular, but if you're also more out and about in your community, that is completely the way to go as well. It's just a matter of connecting with people. What are some of the benefits of being a coach? You can travel around to some of the different events, which is a kind of a perk. Some of these are even incentive trips where you hit certain goals and they send you there for free. You're accountable, you're getting healthier. So I always say the worst case scenario is that I get myself in phenomenal shape, I feel good, and I have more confidence, and blah, blah, blah. I attract more into my life because of those positive pieces. And I'm meeting a lot of great friends that have similar things in mind, where they're making money, or they're traveling, or they feel good, or they're happy. If that's the worst thing that happens, I'll take that any day. There's a lot of different rewards, like I mentioned already, trips and bonuses, but there's about 10 different ways that you can make commission. And then there's some of the bling that they send out when you hit certain ranks, and they're always upgrading that as well. Tony Horton down there doing his little yoga move on the ship on the cruise last year. We played a game. That's me in the glasses behind there. And then that's one of the most surreal moments on the beach doing yoga in the Bahamas a few years ago. Tony Horton, of course, and then my daughters, I was able to take them with me to the Bahamas, and they still talk about it. That's priceless, priceless. I want to be able to do that more and more and more, and I can do that through this opportunity. What can you expect from our team as Team Dynamo? There's new coach training, weekly calls. We have Team Dynamo University, which we launched, we're using it as a central repository for different calls, testimonials that are in there. There's different scripts and things, all kinds of basically calls and training, everything that you'd really need to reference beyond the coach online office, which Beachbody has, and you have that as well. This is a little bit more personalized for our team. And we have the Bro Club, which we started several months back. It's just the guys hanging out, talking about business and everything else that goes along with football and whatever else we want to talk about. And then we have a lot of recognition, accountability, and we've been able to go to a lot of different events together, and we've become great friends, a lot of us. There's my sister Rhonda again. How do you join? What are a couple different options? You can join as a coach or a customer. And I guess I get to be the customer in this case. But if you wanted to join as the coach, and you grow your business as a coach, you say, I'm ready to join your team. Yes, this is a little bit of the cheesy slide here. And then basically you want to get your health and fitness under control, and you want to start helping people do the same thing. Then you join as a coach. And how do you do that? Basically, you come in with this challenge pack, and the challenge pack has a fitness program and Shakeology and a few other things, which I didn't even mention. The club plan, which is another membership piece, is going to give you Beachbody On Demand, which is releasing this spring. And what that is it's Beachbody workout streaming. People have been asking for that for years, and it's finally coming out. So you don't have to drag the clunky DVDs around anymore, and you can stream. You can go on vacation, and you can get your workout in without really taking anything with you. It's a pretty cool thing. There's no excuses. Then you get Shakeology in the fitness program, like I said, and this month's special, as we're in February, $140 price point, you get 21-day fix extreme, Shakeology, or 21-day fix. And then there's a lot of different promotional things going on every single month, and that's what it is this month. And then some of the other ones go up from there. You can also come in as a customer, but before we get to that, the other thing with the coach is there's $17 monthly fee, and that covers a lot of the different things on this slide. You get multiple websites. All you have to do is you point people to a link that's assigned to you, and then when they order through that link, then you get commissions. There's the Success on Demand for personal development. You can listen to audio. So the Reset in the back there. There's a whole site just with it goes directly to you. And then there's a Shakeology site. You have your online office. You can track sales, all that kind of stuff. It's all there. And then the customer, you can come in the same way, the same price point for a challenge pack. Everything else, if you become a coach, is 25% off. But it's the same pieces apply, Shakeology in the fitness program, and then the club membership and the rest of the things that go along with that. And a lot of people, what they do is, including myself, is they start as a customer and they move from there. Or you can just even start as a coach. You're already loving the programs, you dive right in, or even notice the great opportunity for the business. You want to just dive in and have people come along with you for the ride. So the next 24 hours, so we can keep this to 30 minutes, and I don't talk like an auctioneer. What did you like most about the presentation? Someone will follow up with you, whoever invited you to this webinar. Does this feel like something that meets who you are, or that would really represent you? It's not for everyone, but it can be for everyone if you really want something more than what you're doing right now. And which option, coach or customer? Think about it. What can become a coach do for me? For me, it's changed tremendous amount. It's just crazy. It sounds like a cliche when I say it, but my life has changed dramatically. And all the other people I mentioned, just a few of the examples. Who can I help? Think about all the people you work with, family members, friends. You're out at the happy hour and something like, I just been tired lately, and that's not normal. You should have energy and zest for life. And that's what our goal should be. And to help as many people have that same goal. What are your goals and dreams? Are you limiting yourself thinking this is just how it is? It's not how it is. You can have way more than that. You just have to set your mind to it and decide to make small changes. That is the webinar, and we're pretty much right at 30 minutes, but like I said, connect up with the person that invited you to this opportunity and ask them more questions, get signed up. We'll get you on the Facebook page, start interacting. We'll get you tied into all the training because we have so much of that. This is really an incredible opportunity. It's really up to you. If you want to change your life, you have to start doing something different. You can't keep doing the same thing. And I never thought I'd be doing something like this a few years ago, but my life has changed considerably since I did that. I would just have you listen to this or think about it. And if it's something that feels right, let's get started. Want you to have a good night, and I won't take up any more of your time. Have a great night, and hopefully I will be talking to you soon. Good night.